The government has yet to formulate laws for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the Commission of Investigation on Enforced Disappeared Persons that are responsible in providing justice to the victims of the armed insurgency. Instead of formulating relevant laws, the leadership is holding discussion over whom to appoint to these commissions instead of deciding on the commission's authority and working mechanism. Good morning, I'm Amit Mackerel and these are the top stories this hour. The process of transitional justice further weakens as the government forms and dissolves concerned entities time and again despite the absence of appropriate laws. The Council of Ministers stays silent on two major amendment bills that enable the corruption watchdog CIA to investigate and penalize cases of corruption. Tory rebels and opposition MPs defeat the UK government in the first stage of their attempt to pass a law designed to prevent a no-deal Brexit. And fifth seed, Daniil Medvedev reaches his maiden Grand Slam semi-final at US Open, defeating 2016 winner Stan Wawrinka in 4 sets. UK's Johanna Konta crashes out. Let's begin with the national political updates. The process of transitional justice has further weakened as the government has formed and dissolved concerned entities time and again despite the absence of appropriate laws. The government has yet to formulate laws for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the Commission for Investigation of Enforced Disappeared Persons that are responsible in providing justice to the victims of the armed insurgency. Despite the urgency, instead of formulating relevant laws, the leadership is mulling over whom to appoint to these commissions. Despite extending the term to 4 years, both the commissions could not achieve much progress except for registering conflict-era cases. As a result, the government decided to reform these commissions to facilitate transitional justice. Political leaders are busy in discussion regarding whom to appoint to these commissions at the moment, instead of deciding on the commission's authority and working mechanism. The government has a time limit to conclude investigating on the crimes that took place during the armed insurgency period that began 24 years back. The government has not been able to define categories for these crimes. Likewise, it is yet to be ascertained which court will look after the cases and whether the court will give unbiased verdict. The victims, the Supreme Court and the international community have been pressing the Nepal government to ensure actions against those found guilty. However, those accused of the crimes have been influencing justice delivery by delaying it and campaigning for amnesty.
आयोगलाई यदि प्रभावकारी र सफल बनाउनु छ भने तिनीहरूलाई स्वतन्त्रतापूर्वक काम गर्न दिनुपर्छ र सक्षम निर्भीक व्यक्तिहरूको आयोगमा चयन हुनुपर्छ र त्यो भागभण्डाको जुन संस्कार छ त्यसलाई राजनीतिक दलहरूले त्याग्नुपर्छ।
The justice delivery process has further weakened due to the lack of consensus at the political level. Leaders who have the authority and in the past made overnight decision to extend the commission's deadline and amend acts have been inactive in strengthening the process despite the urgency. It may be recalled that the government had committed to form the two commissions within 6 months since the Comprehensive Peace Accord was signed. However, it took 8 years to form the commissions. Even after their formation, the commissions could not perform their task due to inefficiency of the officials and lack of resources and laws. The government amended the concerned acts to reform the commissions and extend the deadline by 2 years. However, that has yet to happen. The committee formed to make recommendations for the appointment of the officials, but the commission has been waiting for decisions from the political leaders instead. Furthermore, there have been talks that the government is preparing to appoint people linked to crimes during the insurgency period to lead these commissions, raising questions on the credibility of the process of justice delivery. The Council of Ministers has stayed silent on the two major amendment bills that enable the Commission for the Investigation of the Abuse of Authority CIA to investigate and penalize cases of corruption. The changes were agreed by the Council of Ministers 2 months ago. This comes at a time when the CIA has been facing criticism for being biased in its jurisdiction, working modality, and actions against the guilty from all spheres. More than 2 months ago, a meeting of the Council of Ministers had decided to table the bills to amend the CIA Act 2048 and the Corruption Control Act 2059 at the Parliament. However, the Prime Minister's office is yet to send the amendment bill to the Ministry of Law. Representatives of the meeting are clueless about the status of the draft bill. The officers at the Ministry of Law say that they have not been able to table the bills at the Parliament as they were yet to get one.
यदि भ्रष्टाचार ऐन बलियो हुने हो भनेदेखि चाहिँ नि हाम्रो अब माफियाहरू भ्रष्टाचारीहरू 2 नम्बरी काम गर्नेहरू उनीहरूलाई असर पर्छ। अब यस्तो काम गर्ने मान्छेहरू चाहिँ सरकारकै नजिकमा हुन्छन् अनि उनीहरूले यो थाहा पाइसकेपछि ल बाबा यो त बितायो यो गर्नु भएन भनेर अनि त्यहाँबाट यसलाई चाहिँ अति कम समय गर्ने भनौँ न निष्क्रिय पार्ने आफूलाई आफू नपर्ने हिसाबले गर्नुपर्छ भनेर लाग्छन् के। अनि कतिपय हाम्रो अब मन्त्रीहरू नै पार्टीका नेताहरू नै पनि के हुन्छ भनेदेखि ऐन कडा भयो भनेदेखि आफै परिन्छ भन्ने सोच्छन् के। ऐन कडा भयो भने त मन्त्री पर्ने होइन नि भ्रष्टाचारी पो पर्ने हो त।
At a time when the Constitution has limited the rights of anti-corruption body, the silence of the government has caused concerns. The law does not allow the CIA to investigate against government officials. Likewise, the Council of Ministers has started to approve small to large purchase decisions by labeling them as policy decisions. The government's move has forced critics to think if the government is trying to weaken the anti-corruption body. There is no timeline for the Council of Ministers to table a bill at the Parliament. Critics are careful to weigh the government's approach from past instances.
सरकारले चाहिँ एकलौटी रूपमा चाहिँ काम कारबाही गर्न सक्ने त्यो रूपमा चाहिँ गइरहेको छ भनेर बाहिर सुनिएको छ कि त्यसो गर्ने हो भनेदेखि त यो अख्तियारै चाहिएन नि सम्पत्ति शुद्धिकरण विभागै चाहिएन सबै क्याबिनेटले गरिदिने गरी भइहाल्यो नि त। यो त के भनेदेखि अब भ्रष्टाचार निवारण भने त के भनेदेखि देशको लागि गर्ने हो र अझ अर्को हिसाबले भन्ने हो भने अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय रूपमै भ्रष्टाचार र सम्पत्ति शुद्धिकरणलाई चाहिँ हेरिरहेको छ। हामीले यहाँ चाहिँ भोलि तपाईँ छुट दियौँ भनेदेखि अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय रूपबाट दबाब आउँछ देशलाई नै कालो सूचीमा राखिन्छ।
In the past, most of the time, the government had presented bills at the last hour to avoid long discussion. This lack of transparency has raised concerns that the anti-corruption bills might face the same fate. Welcome back after the break. The number of deaths of the one-horned rhinoceros, one of the endangered species of the world, has increased in an unnatural manner in recent years. Based on the government data, the number of deaths of one-horned rhinos almost doubled last year in comparison to previous years. The rare and endangered one-horned rhinoceros is biologically valuable and is one of the major attractions for tourists coming to Nepal. Nepal faced tough challenges in conserving the rare rhinos from poachers in the past. However, despite controlling the poachers, it is still a challenge to protect them. The death rate of the one-horned rhinos have reportedly gone up in an unnatural manner. Based on the data shared by the Department of National Parks and Wildlife Conservation, 7 one-horned rhinos had died in the Nepali fiscal year 2070 and 71. The number has gone up each year since then. 43 rhinos died last year alone. The department has claimed that land encroachment, lack of food sources, decrease in number of wetlands, and natural disasters, among others, as the reasons behind the increasing number of deaths of rhinos.
गैंडा मरण लाग्यो हैन यसमा के भएको भन्दाखेरि हामीले एउटा प्रस्ताव राख्यौं यिनीहरुको वासस्थान प्लस घाँसे मैदान चाहिँ यिनलाई कमी भएर पनि ले खानाको उसमा चाहिँ धेरै गैंडा एकै ठाउँमा भेट्ने भयो भेटेपछि युद्ध गर्ने भएपछि हामीलाई चाहिँ नेपाल सरकारबाट अहिले 1500 हेक्टर घाँसे मैदान चाहिँ हाम्रो 5 वटा राष्ट्रिय निकुञ्ज जुन तराईमा छ त्यहाँ चाहिँ बनाउने भन्ने छ। वासस्थानको सुरक्षा गर्ने वासस्थान चाहिँ सिर्जना गर्ने ग्रासल्यान्डहरु त्यसपछि वाटर बडीहरु पानीका जुन पोखरीहरु छन् त्यसको लागि चाहिँ त्यो निर्माण गर्ने अनि त्यसपछि तपाईको गैंडाको चाहिँ काउन्टिङ गर्ने यस वर्ष गरेर करिबन 4-5-6 करोड चाहिँ यसमा खर्च हुन्छ।
Based on a survey carried out 5 years back, there were 605 rhinos at the Chitwan National Park that extends at an area of 952 square kilometers. In addition to that, there were 34 rhinos at the Pardia National Park, 8 at Suklafata, and 3 at Parsa National Park. The rhinos that died all belong to the Chitwan National Park. Experts have stated that the surge in development works and human-wildlife conflict has posed challenge on conserving the rhinos.
गैंडालाई मनपर्ने वासस्थान भनेको यो फ्लोट प्लेन ग्रासल्यान्ड भन्छ है यो नदी तटीय वनहरु नदी तटीय घाँसे मैदानहरु अब त्यो त्यस्तो वासस्थानको स्थिति के छ ती कुराहरू हेर्नु पर्यो। विगत वर्षदेखि घट्दैछ बढ्दैछ, गैँडाको सङ्ख्याहरू कुन ठाउँमा बढ्दैछ कुन ठाउँमा घट्दैछ, कुन कस्तो कस्तो वासस्थानमा बढ्दैछ कस्तो कस्तो वासस्थानमा घट्दैछ, ती कुरा अनुभव गरेर उनीहरूलाई उपयुक्त हुने वासस्थानहरू बनाउन सकेको खण्डमा चाहिँ हाम्रो चाहिँ अलि यस्तो घटनाहरू कम हुन सक्छ।
Nepal celebrated zero poaching almost a decade back. However, the rising number of the deaths have concerned conservationists. There is a general call for all concerned authorities to take necessary steps at the earliest to control the unnatural deaths in recent years. There's lack of well-managed parking spaces in and around West Rukum headquarters, compelling public vehicles to park in an unmanaged manner, which has resulted in many accidents. In this contest, we had asked the locals in West Rukum what should be done to improve the vehicle management in the area. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
ट्राफिक नियम आचार संहिता अनुसार जताभावी पार्किङ नगरिदिने, सँगसँगै यहाँ चाहिँ भिडभाडको अवस्था भइराखेको छ त्यो अवस्थामा लामो समयसम्म चाहिँ गाडी नरोक्दिने,
बाटोघाटोमा सवारी साधन रोकेर पनि यस्तो समस्या भएको छ। त्यसतर्फ स्थानीय सरकार र सरोकारवालाहरूको ध्यान जान जरुरी देखिन्छ।
पार्किङ एरियाको नै व्यवस्था गर्न सक्यो भने अझै समस्या समाधान हुन्छ।
ट्राफिक नियमहरूको पालना गराउनका लागि यो चेतनामूलक कार्यक्रमहरू पनि सञ्चालन गर्नु पर्यो।
बस पार्क छैन, बस पार्क हुनु पर्यो।
तिनलाई सडकबाट बाहिर राख्नुपर्छ या चाहिँ उनीहरूले सार्वजनिक ठाउँ कहीँ खोजेर सडकभन्दा भित्रका ठाउँमा लगेर राख्नु पर्यो।
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what's your take on universities getting padlocked time and again? And options are A, heights of anarchy, B, politically motivated, and C, result of indifference. The voting is on. Type NAWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's time now for our special segment, Laugh Out Loud.
The Eminent Person Group was formed in January 2016 to revise bilateral treaties between India and Nepal a few years ago. The EPZ, that comprised of distinguished political faces from both India and Nepal, also prepared a report that was supposed to be presented to the Prime Ministers of both the countries. However, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been reluctant to receive the report that has also highlighted about the timely review of the 1950 Indo-Nepal Friendship Treaty. However, with the appointment of Bhagat Singh Koshyari as the governor of Maharashtra, the plan to submit the report to the Indian Prime Minister has definitely hit a snag.
And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day.